LUMiRiSE. Now, this is a band who I really have been wanting to get around to doing a reaction to for the longest time, because they are a big part of the Tokyo live music scene and actually go around Japan a fair bit as well. Now, they had a big release with the song Shooter not so long ago. I didn't do a reaction to that, but then they had a song come out today which was called Resolver, and so I'm going to start with this one. Now, to give you a little bit of background, like I say, they are so prevalent within the Japanese and Tokyo music scene that if you go to a lot of Thai bands as I do, I have seen them, well, I've definitely seen them live a few times when they were playing with other bands who I've maybe had more of an active following of, you know, bands like Manatee, who I've done an interview with on this channel, Ash Frast, who I've also, it hasn't come out yet, but she's also got an interview that's coming up on this channel. You know, bands like that, they've performed alongside so many of these bands that I really like, but I just never gave them the same attention, and I kind of feel bad about that. You know, they're always there, they're always on the circuit, they're always showing up at great events. So LUMiRiSE, I'm sure you don't give a damn about some random YouTuber who's got less than 3,000 subs, but I apologize, and I'm here to put it right. So, all honesty, like I say, I have seen them live at Thai bands. So as a result, you know, like little band shows where you get, you know, several bands, they all go on stage, play for 25 minutes, 15 minutes to reset the stage, then another band comes on and plays 25 minutes. That's a normal sort of gig setup for most gigs and shows in Tokyo. I've seen them at quite a few of those. So it's not impossible that I will have heard this song before. I'll let you know if I have. That's also one of the reasons why I didn't do Shooter, because I was just like, I assume I've heard it before, but I might come back and, you know, check it out anyway, because again, I haven't heard the studio versions of any of these. And as I found out with bands like Mellows, a lot of the time, you can have a very different opinion. Well, I've always known this, but you can have a very different opinion of the studio from the live. And sometimes when you see a band live, you don't get to understand just how much detail and, or how much went into the song, you know, how much there is in the arrangement that maybe doesn't always come across when you see a band live. You know, when you see a band live, I always think it's a great way to catch them after you already know the songs, because when you see them live, you know the songs, which means you're just there sharing the energy, sharing that version, but it's always good to hear the proper recording first, I feel. So with this song, it's a new song as far as I'm aware, Resolver. So I'm going to jump in. They've only got 9.3 thousand subscribers. I feel like they deserve more. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to enjoy this one. I hope you guys enjoy this with me. I'm assuming it's a new song. I'm assuming I haven't heard it before. And let's get started on this LUMiRiSE journey. Let's give them a little bit of support. I know a lot of people have been behind them, and about time I get on this train. So yeah, LUMiRiSE. Let's go. I have not set this up properly. Oh no, it's set up properly. All right, let's go. This has definitely got that straight J-rock sound from the get-go. I love it. That riff, that little lick there is nice. I like the way it just fits into the chord pattern as well. That's such a classic sort of like just crowd raising kind of sing-along melody. This song is just like oozing likability. And I love it, they're hard rocking and yet they're smiling. I love it, I love it. Nice breakdown. Nice little switch up there, okay. I'm loving like that, again, that positive feeling underneath this. This feels like something to really bring the crowd together, like rocking with energy, just smiling and joyful. Yeah, and it's just something quintessentially likable about this, you know? It just oozes likability. I just feel like you can rock out with a smile on your face to this a mile wide, you know? Like any good band, they decided to use a warehouse in their video. Warehouses, rooftops, beaches, you know the place. Yeah, this is great. No title card? Okay, no title card. Let's leave it on the picture of the band. I feel like I want to leave it there. I want to leave it there. There we go, let's leave it on a picture of the band. I think that's nice. I have to say this really puts a smile on my face. Now, there's a few things to obviously we have to. I'm always honest on this channel. We'll balance out a few things, and yes, I accept fully listening to this song. It is very much it is straight J-Rock being J-Rock. If you wanted to have a pure distillation of what modern J-Rock sounds like, this is kind of it. It's kind of got all of the guitar sounds we're familiar with, all of those melodies we're familiar with. Yeah, it's kind of got that sound. It's very recognizable, and yeah, I feel like it doesn't feel like a parody. It just feels like I always say, if you're going to do a sound that is familiar, you've got to do it well, because we've kind of heard that sound before. And I feel like LUMiRiSE here are presenting a sound that is very much the quintessential J-Rock sound, but they're doing it so well. The chorus is so joyous, that flip up in the bridge where it goes like mid-tempo and you can really headbang to it. The mixture of guitar sounds, you've got like those nice sort of picked bits alongside the more gritty guitar lines. The bass in this is really nice as well. A lot of sort of fast moving bass in the background, keeping things going. It just, the whole song has this sort of kinetic but easy to access kind of joy. And yeah, I've said this recently about a couple of other bands, is that, often the best thing is when you can do something which is easy to access. It's not alienating, just general fans can get into it. New people can enjoy your music, but there's also a lot of like little details in there that, slightly more muso people who are really into song arrangements can dig through and enjoy, like all guitar counter melodies and nice intricate bass lines and drum lines that add sort of accentuate little parts of the rhythm. You pull out nice little moments and you make the song move in an interesting way. Everything about that I really like. The singer, she's got a fantastic voice, and again, fronts this up brilliantly. But for me, this feels almost like this could be like almost like a LUMiRiSE anthem. It just feels like a distillation of what makes them such a fun band. And I'm kind of glad as well, because like I said, when you see them live, they've got a lot of energy, but this kind of like highlights how do I word this? How nice, for want of a better adjective, how nice their sound actually is. That when you sit back and listen to it in a studio recording like this, it's just kind of got it sounds pretty, it rocks, but from those guitar lines again to the vocals and all of this, and just to the fact the arrangement's got a nice little bit of body to it. It's not just sort of slamming power chords and the bass follows the guitar kind of thing. There's something very pretty about the sound, about the way everything goes together. Your ears feel like they're being washed in this really nice, sort of full-sounding rock band that still has the sort of sparkle and brightness of something a little bit more pop rock. And this kind of brings me on to, like I say, the feeling that comes across from this. And this is probably the most important thing. I was mentioning that they have somewhat, in this song, they've somewhat distilled what J-rock, modern J-rock is kind of about. And in a way, I feel it's very much carried by the message, that sort of be yourself. I'm going to be myself. You be yourself. Yeah, let's do it. And at the same time, you've got this rocking song where it's like headbanging on. It's like, be yourself. Woo! And it's something about that I find very charming. It's like the idea of, because you all know that feeling where like you go to like rock out somewhere, you want to sort of like catharsis, you want to sort of jump about, you want to let out all that energy, but you want to be letting out all that energy, but at the same time, when you leave at the end of the night, as much as your legs, you should have used up all your energy and your legs should be aching from jumping up and down, your face should also be aching from smiling. That's kind of like, that's so important, that you want to bring across that feeling that you just want to have this sort of joyous experience. And so when I see something like this, I mean, obviously you get music of different moods, don't get me wrong, you can have your angry music, you can have your fluffy cute music as well, and I love all of it, but this, to me, this is that like really joyful balance that I really like in certain songs, where they can make you want to jump around and let all the energy out, but at the same time you just feel so good at the same time, and so positive and so uplifted by it. And uplifting rock is a wonderful thing. Proper rock, it's probably got some balls, but at the same time, you're able to feel uplifted by it. That's a wonderful thing. And so, yeah, LUMiRiSE, fucking top notch. I really enjoyed this. I think that it definitely has the rock down, but it also has a prettiness to it. It's a very pretty sounding song, pretty sounding arrangement, pretty sounding tone. Everything about this comes across with a real charm. I enjoyed this a lot. And yeah, my apologies. Like I said, I never really, I think because LUMiRiSE had just always been there and I'd always seen them at shows, and kind of like, I just never really caught up with them on the channel and never really sat down and gave their recorded material the time it deserved. So if you want me to, I'll go check out their most famous song as well. But this was lovely. And LUMiRiSE, if you're watching this, or if you even care at all what I think, just want to say thank you for being such a present part of the Tokyo music scene, and always being there and always being awesome. Good for you. All right, anyway, that's my thoughts. Get in the comments, tell me what you think. Until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, I'm trying to clap with a cup. For now, that did not sound as good as I wanted it to. For now, ciao, ciao.